Hi, Mike McMillan here. I will be your host today as we talk about how to get more views and longer viewer retention times from viewers on mobile devices, that is, tablets and phones. Actually, more people come in to watch videos on YouTube from mobile devices than from desktop or laptop computers. In fact, as many as 70% of the viewers on YouTube come in to watch videos from their mobile devices. Okay, well, you've seen ads like this pop up on your videos, other people's videos, when you're on YouTube. And essentially, these ads, what this is all about, is there are skippable ads, sidebar ads, discovery ads, all different kinds of ads that Google, YouTube can run over videos. And ad revenue is how Google, YouTube makes their money. Okay, and the longer people stay on your videos, the more likely it is that Google/YouTube will make money running ads on those videos. So the longer your viewer's retention time is for a video, the more likely it is YouTube will show your video high in its search results. So retention time is extremely important. That's one of the big keys that gets your videos to show up in the search results, on the sidebar as suggested videos, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. Okay, now don't click off. I know you're saying, whoa, what does this have to do with YouTube? What does this have to do with viewer retention times and mobile devices and what? Well, I'm going to show you. This is a picture of me back many years ago, and I was an inner city high school chemistry teacher for about 20 years. And back many years ago, this was my first year of teaching. Yikes. I don't look much like that anymore. Not that I look any better, that's for sure, but this is what I looked like a long time ago. So stick with me because this is directly related to getting more mobile views on YouTube. Okay? Now, I'm standing in my room and I'm going to write something on this dry erase board that I've got right here. And let's suppose that I came in and I decided I wanted to make a channel where I would show high school chemistry students how to solve some problems. I could easily do that. It would be fun. I could probably make it work. So I could come in and say, look, here's how to solve a particular problem. And I start writing some things on my board. Now, if you're on a laptop computer, desktop computer, I think you can probably read what I'm doing up here. Okay, you can probably read the words, the text that I'm putting on there. But if, on the other hand, you come in here and you decide, well, I'm going to watch this video on my smartphone, this is what you might see. I came in, I uploaded this video, the short 10-15 second video clip, I uploaded it to YouTube, and I made it private so no one else could see it, so they wouldn't get confused, you know, with this and other videos I've got. But anyway, on my iPhone, I recorded what was on my iPhone when I watched this on YouTube, and this is what I got. Now, you may notice that if somebody came in and watched this video on a smartphone, what would happen is this is way too small for them to see, for them to read. You can't read that. If you're in here on a phone, you can't read that right now, I'm sure. It's way too small. Okay, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, the problem is if a student came in here and they started watching my video, they're going to say, whoa, what in the world is going on here? This is way too small. I can't even squint enough to begin to read what this guy's writing on the board. So what happens? They click off. They leave your video because they're frustrated, because the stuff is too small for them to see. You can't assume everybody's coming in and watching on a laptop or desktop computer. So some things to keep in mind. One, if you have any graphics in your videos, that when you edit your videos, you put any graphics in there like these. The graphic on the left where it says join today, that's big enough so somebody could read that in a video on YouTube on a smartphone. Okay, the one on the right is too small. If you included that video and somebody watched this on a mobile device, that's way too small. They're not going to be able to read that. And the second thing is, this text looks good on mobile devices on the left. But on the right, the very top, I have that text, and if somebody came in here, they could read that on a desktop computer, I'm sure, probably. But on a laptop, but on a mobile device, there's no way they could read that text at the top of the page. And another thing is, if you're doing a screencast, something like this, This is way too small. When I'm clicking on different buttons and different icons and I'm changing different settings in the screencast I did, on a desktop computer, this would still be small, but you might be able to read some of the things and see some of the things I'm doing. But on a mobile phone, there is no way in the world that you're going to be able to follow me. And so what would happen? Well, as soon as somebody came in on a mobile device and they started watching this, bang, they would click off this video in a heartbeat, and I lose them, and that hurts my viewer retention time. And how long viewers stay tuned to your video is one of the biggest factors of its success. YouTube looks for that. Okay, so here's just a short little video clip that I was working on for another video, and you can see this is a screencast. I was using Adobe Premiere Pro. I was showing people how to do one specific thing using Adobe Premiere, and as you come in here, you can see that on a laptop computer, you may be able to read some of the things on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. Some of these things may be visible and readable, but on a mobile phone, nobody's going to be able to read that. It's going to be way, way, way too small. So what can you do to help mobile viewers keep in tune with what you're doing on a screencast like this? Well, one thing, a simple thing you can do, is in any kind of video editing software, you can draw rectangles and boxes and shapes and things like that. You could just draw a box around whatever part of this screencast you're talking about at the minute so people can follow along. It's not going to make it more readable. They're still not going to be able to read the text on something like this on a mobile device, but at least they know where you're at and what you're doing. Okay, now here, you could move this around as you do different things and put boxes in different places just so people can follow around and see at least where you're at with what you're doing. Something else that you can do is just add like an arrow. Any kind of video editing software will let you add arrows and things like that. You could add an arrow and point to things that are important and you want to have people focus on. Again, it's not going to help them read that small text, but that could help them. Okay, you could make a flashing arrow like this. That would be easy to do, something like that, to get people's attention focused on a particular part in that video. Okay, well, let's revisit this little video clip here that I showed you a second ago. And basically, let me just explain what this is. I had a little video clip that I put into Adobe Premiere Pro to do some initial editing with it. But right now I am in ScreenFlow and I'm going to do my final editing in here. If you don't have ScreenFlow, like I said, Adobe Premiere Pro can do this. If you've got DaVinci or any application that's a quality video editing application would let you do exactly what I'm doing. So basically, let's just look at this clip. And I'm just doing some things. I click in some different places. I do some different things in here. And, that's what it looks like. Now, again, the problem is everything is so small in here that anybody on a mobile device, what's going to happen is on a mobile device, this is going to look something like that and a little bigger than that. Probably look something like this on a phone, a smartphone. And nobody's going to be able to read what's going on if they watch this and come in on a mobile phone, and a lot of people will. And you'll get click-offs. They'll say, hey, I can't follow this guy. I can't read what he's doing. So, you get click-offs, and that kills your viewer retention time, which is important to YouTube. So let me explode this back out again so you can see this. The thing that I like to do in probably most of my videos somewhere, I'll use this technique. And in ScreenFlow, I come up here to this button right here, and it's called a call-out button. And what this allows you to do is to pick any part of the screen and just explode that part of your video clip so it's more visible to people maybe on mobile devices, we'll say. Okay, so the way this works is I'm going to come over here, and you can see right here I've changed some settings and I did some things. It doesn't matter what they are, but I'll highlight my clip right here. Okay, let me move this up a little so it shows up better. And then I'll click on where it says action. And again, The icons and the names of this may be different in different editing applications, but in ScreenFlow it's called a callout. So what you can do, what it allows you to do, and I'll come up here, I want a rectangular callout, and what it allows you to do is just pick any part of your video clip. Like I'm going to pick this part here because I was doing some things in here, and they're way too small for people to see on mobile devices. So then I can come over to zoom up, and you can see what that does. It makes it much, much bigger. And it gets a little fuzzy if you make it too big. You know, I could make it like this, but for us to see so it shows up well for everybody, I can do a call out. And then what happens is when somebody plays this clip, they can actually see what's going on in there, what I'm doing. And even at the size of, this might be, you know, the size of a mobile, somebody watching it on a mobile device. And so when they come in and watch this, things are big enough so they can actually see the numbers, they can see what I click on, they can see what's going on. And so I use callouts in a lot of my videos, and they may come in handy for you. Just remember, everybody that watches your video is not on a laptop or desktop computer, and if they come in on mobile devices, which 70% or so, YouTube tells us, the viewers come in on mobile devices, you want them to be able to see what you're doing. Otherwise, you can lose them in a hurry. And so just as a final caution, just as a final word here, remember that one of the biggest things YouTube looks for is your viewer retention times, your average viewer retention times, because the longer people stay on one of your videos, the more ads they can show, and they get paid for, you know, people who run those ads. That's how they make their money. So it's important to have viewer retention times as long as possible. And since most people come in on mobile devices, it's important that people on mobile devices can see everything that you're doing, especially small details in something like this. Okay, so keep that in mind. That might be a useful tool for you to use. That could make a big difference. Okay? All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video, got something out of it, and keep that in mind that a lot of people come in on mobile devices, and you want to keep those people happy so they stay on your video as long as possible. Okay? You guys are all great. I love you all, and take care, and go make some more good videos. Okay?